Yo, what is up, guys? It's your boy back with another part to the What If Goku Was in Naruto series. I know I've been out for a while. I apologize for not updating the series for a while, but it's all good now. We're back with another part, and we're going to be starting in the Shippuden era. So we're going to be starting when Naruto returns back to the village after training with Jiraiya for over 2.5 years. In the meantime, Goku has spent his time training with Team Asuma as well as Guy and Rock Lee due to their affinity for taijutsu. At this point in his development, he would be around 15 years old, so I decided to keep his kid look just a little bit longer, just because in the original Dragon Ball, he did not grow until past the King Piccolo saga, which he would have already been over 15 by that point. And at the beginning of Shippuden, Goku's strength and speed is beyond pretty much any normal Jonin that the Leaf has produced. And he, at this point, would be able to start using like small little ki blasts. Think of how Vegeta is able to think of the ki blast that Vegeta spams when he's desperate in a fight. So he'd be able to kind of do stuff like that. So that'll kind of help him in his fighting styles to make little diversions, to have, Bridge guerrilla warfare and his hand-to-hand combat. So it would kind of help him spice it up a little bit, but he wouldn't be out here busting insane ki attacks yet. Just because I don't think he would be able to develop that on his own yet, because again, he would have no one to teach him that in this universe. When Naruto returns, he'd be one of the first ones to greet him. Naruto would probably make fun of the fact that he still hasn't grown in the 2.5 years that he would be away. However, they would catch up. Although I wouldn't have Goku, I don't think Goku would be sent on the mission to rescue the Kazekage. And the reason why I decided not to is because I just thought that Tsunade in this universe would feel as though she's sent like enough backup. I mean, she sent Team Naruto and she sent Team Guy, and they already have backup with Lady Chio there as well. So he's gonna basically not be in the first arc that much. So we're going to really start the story in the Tenchi Bridge. So one of the most interesting changes is that in this story, remember, Goku's teammates had been off all the way back in the Chunin exams, and Goku had reached a strength level enough that it wasn't felt as if he needed new team members that would have been in that Genin level just due to how much stronger he was than his contemporaries. But now, for the Tenchi Bridge mission, instead of having to assign Sai because there's no one to accompany Naruto and Sakura and Yamato, Tsunade would basically just have Goku be reassigned to Team 7, so he'd be made a part of that just due to his strength. Yamato would still be tasked with leading the mission to Tenchi Bridge, and which is where the changes would begin. Now, the mission would be going along way more smoothly, because Goku would already be familiar with Naruto. Obviously, they would already be good friends, and there wouldn't be as much of a teething adjustment compared to the lack of teamwork that Naruto and Sai and Sakura to an extent had showed originally. I think by the time they get to the bridge and their cover is blown, Naruto is still going to turn into the Four Tails when Orochimaru teases him, and then I believe at the same time Goku would be fighting Kabuto along with Sakura. And I don't think that it would take too long. I think this version of Goku would be able to beat this version of Kabuto relatively easily, especially with Sakura there to help. And this also means that Sakura isn't knocked out by Naruto's Four-Tail state when he transforms. However, what would happen next is Goku would end up having to fight Four-Tails Naruto, who would still be above his pay grade. However, I do think he would be strong enough to contend with him long enough for him to create an opening for Yamato to siphon the Nine Tails chakra from Naruto. However, I do think Goku would be, I wouldn't say severely damaged, just because Naruto in this state isn't fighting intelligently. So even though he's stronger than this version of Goku, he's not able to really utilize that properly because he's fighting like a wild beast. However, Goku would need some healing. So I still see him getting a small Senkai boost, but nothing too significant. By the time they make their way to the hideout, I still think Sai would tail them, just because Danzo probably would have sent him on the mission to off Sasuke, so he'd probably use the whole skirmish as a cover to go and, go infiltrate Orochimaru's hideout. And by the time Naruto, Goku, and Yamato get there, Sai would kind of just be on the floor after failing miserably to try to off Sasuke. And Sasuke, knowing how much Goku trains and knowing how strong he was even before he left, would expect him to be a challenge. And I believe that while they're fighting, Goku would be strong enough that Sasuke would feel the need to go into his Curse Mark II state to deal with him. Although I think even though Sasuke would be pressuring Goku, Goku would still be a skilled enough fighter to kind of mitigate this. However, I think due to his fatigue, he wouldn't really be in a good enough state to properly counterattack. So I think the fight would just kind of drag on for a bit. And eventually, Orochimaru would come back and he would convince Sasuke to leave. So then we fast forward about 6 months, and I decided at this point that Goku would be 16, so I decided to give him a growth spurt here, so he kind of grows to look like what he does at the end of Dragon Ball in the Piccolo Jr. saga. And at this point, I think specifically when fighting Four Tails Naruto and seeing him use the Bijou Bomb would inspire Goku to come up with a similar technique that he could use with his ki as well. So that would be how he comes up with the Kamehameha in this universe, even though he wouldn't call it that, obviously. But him and Naruto are still in training, because people forget there is a 6 months difference between the end of the Tenchi Bridge arc and the Immortal Duos arc. And speaking of the Immortal Duos, unfortunately, Asuma was still going to be offed by Hidan and Kakuzu, even though he is stronger in this what if. Just not Hidan's hacked ability would catch him off guard. And I think Goku would go along with Team Asuma to go and try and avenge him. And I'll be honest with you, given every development that Goku has gone so far in this verse, given the fact that he has one of the smartest people on his team in Shikamaru, who is stronger physically, by the way, because he is close with Goku in this verse, and he has Kakashi there, I'm gonna be honest, I think they can take these dudes pretty easily before Naruto even shows up to show them what he's learned with his Rasen Shuriken. So they end up defeating the Immortal Duo relatively easily, and I think that's where I'm going to leave off for now. So at this point in the story, we reached mid Shippuden, so we're going to talk about what goes on in the Itachi Pursuit arc, and beyond that in the next part. If you guys liked the video, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, and most importantly, remember to have a good day.